This is Joe's Corner 76. I will be commenting on issues that affect the human condition. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Joe's Corner 76. You can hear me on Breaker, Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor FM, and Radio Public. Water. It's life-changing. Where did life originate? Scientists are exploring several possible locations for the origins of life, including tide pools and hot springs. Most recently, some scientists have narrowed in on the idea that life originated near a deep sea thermal vent. The chemicals found in these vents and the energy they provide could have fueled the chemical reactions necessary for the evolution of life. Biologists have tentatively traced the most common ancestors of all life to aquatic organisms that live in high temperatures. These might be a likely candidate for an inhabitant of a hydrothermal vent. They are still looking into this. It appears all life may have begun in the sea. Do we need water? The answer is a definite yes. The amount of water in the human body ranges from 50 to 75%. The average adult human body is 50 to 65% water, averaging 57 to 60%. If we upset the balance, we get into a life-threatening situation. Why is water so important? Thirst is a survival instinct, and I'm sure you have realized that water is one of the most essential nutrients required for living things. Water regulates our body temperature, digestion, aids the disposal of waste, and is needed by our brain to produce hormones and neurotransmitters. Clearly, water is pretty important. How long can a person survive without water? A person can survive only 3 to 5 days without water, although some people have survived for an average of 1 week. I don't recommend that anyone try going without water at home. Once the body is deprived of fluids, the cells and organs of the body deteriorate. How much fresh water is on Earth? The total volume of water on Earth is split between salt water being 97.5% and 2.5% being fresh water. Of the fresh water supply, 2/3 is in the form of ice caps or glaciers. Most of the fresh water is not available for human consumption. Only 0.007% of the planet's water is available for Earth's 6.8 billion people. Water is a very scarce resource worldwide. Is water a renewable resource? Water is a renewable resource because it's an inexhaustible resource. The total water supply in the biosphere is not affected by human activities. We can't destroy water, but it can be held for a time with other chemicals. For water to be useful, it must be in a particular place and of a certain quality. It must be regarded as renewable and often scarce as a resource. The supply depends on its location and uses. Rainfall in different parts of the world affect the amount of water available. Water falls from the atmosphere as precipitation and then runs off the land to form rivers and streams that flow to the ocean. Water is evaporated by solar energy and returned to the atmosphere, from which it falls as precipitation. This usually works on a yearly cycle. Different cycling can happen due to climate conditions that can cause water scarcity in regions of the world. How do we pollute water? Waste from factories are sometimes dumped directly on the rivers or on the ground. Pesticides applied to the farmland enter surface and groundwater. Leaks from underground tanks. Dumping raw sewage into lakes and oceans. Using waterways as garbage dumps. Poorly built sewage systems. How do we waste water? Here's a few examples. Water is a finite resource. How developed countries use water has an effect on how much water is available to people in developing countries. Americans use 575 liters of water per day. Europeans use 250 liters of water per day. People in the developing world use 19 liters of water every day for everything. You know, a bath uses 80 liters. A 5-minute shower uses 45 liters. Washing machines between 50 to 100 liters. Meat production requires a higher amount of water than vegetables. To produce 1 kilogram of meat requires between 5,000 and 20,000 liters of water. To produce 1 kilogram of wheat requires 500 to 4,000 liters of water. Perhaps we need to reevaluate how we produce our food. Did you know it can take 2,700 liters to produce the cotton needed to make a single t-shirt? We should examine all of our uses of water to not only save a scarce source, but find out how to improve its quality. Can we use water more wisely? Yes. Conserve water whenever you can. Low pressure shower heads, low flow toilets, using rainwater in your garden. Water your lawn less frequently. We can use improved farming methods to reduce the use of water. 70% of the water used globally is for farming. Develop manufacturing processes that use less water. Are there ways to clean our water? Stop destroying wetlands. They purify our water. Boil water to kill bacteria. Water filtration plants. Improved sewage systems. No longer using waterways as garbage dumps. Is water going to be a potential source of conflict? Climate change has caused water shortages in parts of the world. This has brought drought. People will want to migrate where they have a chance to survive. If they don't get water, they will fight to get access to water. If we can't solve this, there will be strife. We just have to look at the refugees fleeing from poorer parts of the world. We have a moral obligation to find a solution for clean water for all humans. Please share your thoughts with me. Please pass on reference to this podcast. We need to change minds.